Hey guys, so a new hero has been released a few days ago, and in this video I'm going to talk about the lore behind Valora the Dawnbreaker. So yeah, let's begin. Dawnbreaker's lore is actually connected to a lot of heroes, so I'm going to refer to multiple lores from different heroes to piece together Valora's complete story. And trust me, it will all come together in the end. It all starts with the Keeper of the Light. After he escapes from the fundamental plane, his spark caused the first star to form, and this star was the single conscious light that was destined to illuminate the empty void. When this star burst into a supernova, its fires gave birth to the other stars that were identical to its parent. This continues again and again to create all the suns of the universe. These suns are basically the descendants of Valora and are sentient beings, and they call themselves the Children of the Light. The Children of the Light all had one purpose, and that was to spread the light to the universe and fight the darkness. And they made countless armies to purge the cosmos from the creatures of the night. This is where Valora the Dawnbreaker comes in. She was one of the most prized warriors among the children's ancient creations. She was molded from a young metallic star, and she was charged by the golden breath of new life. So she's kinda like a robot that was created by the Children of the Light to help them in their fight against the darkness. This would explain her robot-like appearance, and she was made by two components. The first component is her body, which was made by a metallic star, and the second component is her soul, which is the golden breath, which I think refers to the essence of the golden ones. Keep this in mind because I'll talk about this later on. However, Valora seems to not know that she is a creation, or at least she refuses to believe that, because she says this to Tinker.
No, you cannot examine me, Tinker. I'm not a machine. I'm beyond you.
But despite being a robot and a creation of the golden ones, she is still molded by a star. So basically she is more or less the descendant of Kotl. That is why she says this.
Great-grandfather, I am humbled by your light.
In time, the children discovered a way to fill the cosmos with their inner light and purge the darkness entirely. And thus they sent Valora, their most prized warrior, to seize the source of great power, which was the final piece to complete their ultimate plan. Valora didn't question the golden ones and departed on her mission, because she had only one purpose, and this is mentioned in these voice lines.
I was created for one purpose, to serve the children of light. I was shaped to serve the light, to bend chaos to order, and keep the darkness at bay.
However, in this mission, Valora failed, and her failure caused her masters, the children of the sun, to lose their inner spark, aka the essence of light. This also meant that Valora's soul died too, because her soul was also made by the essence of light. But since Valora is kinda like this indestructible warrior robot, her body survived and drifted through the dark cosmos for eons before crashing into an unfamiliar world, which is the Dota 2 world. She fell into a desert and got buried in the sand for countless ages. This desert, or the glowing red waste mentioned here, is actually the scintillant wastes. I say this because this sentence talks about an energy forge, a relic of the children that was buried in the sands of this desert. This relic is actually the solar forge, which is the immortal cosmetic item of Phoenix, which Phoenix found buried in the scintillant wastes next to a massive crater, which is actually where the Dawnbreaker crash landed. So this wandering young star is actually Phoenix. So basically Phoenix found Valora and the solar forge buried in the sands and used Sunray on her to revive Valora, because this cosmetic item does change the animation of Sunray, and this ability basically heals allies. So Valora's soul was restored. But Valora's soul is made from the essence of light, right? So how can Phoenix bring her back to life? Well, that is because Phoenix is also one of the golden ones, because if you look at Phoenix's lore, it says that he also used to be a sun, and he was a descendant of the Keeper's first son. So Sunray is actually the golden breath of life that makes up Valora's soul. Valora expresses her gratitude for Phoenix in these voice lines.
Thank you, young one. Without your light, the solar forge would have never called to me. I am honored to fight by your side, little lord. You might say I was made for it. Were I still beholden to such things, you would be my master now, given the circumstances.
You may have noticed that she calls Phoenix as the young one a lot. Well, that is because Phoenix is actually a relatively new golden one. So he is further down the family tree than the ones who created Valora. The fact that he is a young golden one also explains why Valora only gains a fraction of her powers when she was revived by Phoenix. Which actually makes sense because Valora has been inactive for eons before being revived by Phoenix. To further prove this, she also says that the Phoenix carried the Golden One's spark.
The Golden Ones would marvel at you, young lord. You carry their spark in you still.
This voice line combined with the fact that Phoenix exists means that all the Golden Ones weren't eradicated during Valora's failed mission. And I think I know why. This actually takes us back to the start. You see, when Keeper escaped the fundamental plane, he caused an imbalance, and Chaos Knight followed him because of this imbalance. Anyways, Kotl then created the first sun, but since Kotl didn't take care of his supposed sun, this sentient light didn't really know what to do. So with no proper guidance, this creature of light probably assumed that its purpose was to eradicate the darkness, which is why all the Golden Ones have this motive of fighting off the darkness. And since they are blinded by their purpose, they try to find a way to eradicate the darkness forever by trying to get their hands on a great source of power. And I think this great source of power is Io, because Dawnbreaker says this when she kills Chaos Knight.
The Golden Ones were wrong. We did not need Io to bind you. I was enough.
So basically they were trying to use Io to bind Chaos Knight because Io is the fundamental of electromagnetism and the one who is responsible for holding everything together. However, when the Golden Ones sent Valora to get Io, aka the great source of power, she was beaten by Io, and he proceeded to eradicate the Golden Ones as their philosophy was wrong, because there should always be a balance between light and darkness. But since Io cares about the balance, he didn't kill all of the Golden Ones. This would explain why Phoenix exists, so I think Io only killed the Golden Ones with the wrong intentions to restore balance. Because Phoenix's law states that although he is compelled to find a place among his stellar brethren, his curiosity allowed him to see that his demon elders were not on the right path. So he did not take any sides or blindly follow the other Golden Ones, but instead saw the truth, and because of that he took a terrestrial form to help others in need. In other words, he joined the battle of the ancients to fight for a greater cause. It's unclear why Phoenix took a form of a bird and if he really cannot speak, but it's a funny coincidence that the only two heroes in the game who doesn't speak have a connection like this, because Phoenix exists because Io didn't kill all the children of the light. So as you can see, the Golden One's demise was a result of them not getting a proper guidance from Kotl, which is why Valora hates Kotl and says this to him.
You could have saved your wayward progeny, but you let them flicker and fade. We don't need you anymore. The spark has been thrown. Will you set this all to rights, great-grandfather? If you only cared to remember how. I wonder, great-grandfather, do you even know what your children became?
So basically the Golden Ones were dead set on eradicating the darkness, so they created Valora to retrieve Io's powers to bind the Chaos Fundamental forever.
In their greed to stop you, my masters lost sight of everything. Today I make it right.
This was Valora's purpose, and because of this, she says this to Io.
If I could have done this in a forgotten age, what might have been? Perhaps I cannot escape the fates of my creation. This is what I was made for, but I take no pleasure in it now. If I only knew how the Golden Ones plan to use your power. It's no excuse, Io, but it was my nature to serve. When I first awoke in this place, I wanted nothing more than to kill you, Io. But that cannot be the way. My masters would have gladly destroyed you, Io. I can no longer fault you for their demise.
So as you can see, now Valora sees why she failed, and that her masters were wrong, and with all this information, now her monologue voice lines makes much more sense. Listen to these voice lines.
I was created for one purpose, to serve the children of light. I never questioned. But the ends they set me to had a dark nature, darker than such golden creatures would ever let you think. I was created to deliver ultimate power, to help the misguided children rid the universe of darkness forever. I was shaped to serve the light, to bend chaos to order, and keep the darkness at bay, until my master set upon me an impossible mission, to seize a power they knew to be unobtainable, and the price of my failure was to watch all that was dear to me flicker into nothingness, without enough strength left in my body to even look away. For eons, the children kept my true purpose from me, constantly setting me after new challenges, prodding and testing me along the way. I suspect now even they knew the price for failure of my final mission. But if so, how could they have ever sent me on my way? What is darkness and light, chaos and order? Does chaos truly exist more in one than the other? And order? I used to think so, as a righteous creation of light. But the history of this vast expanse suggests otherwise. How did I come to this world? I have not been here long. Mere hundreds of your tiny lifetimes. Like yours, spent mostly in slumber. Before that, I floated through the cosmos, near to lifeless, passive and cold, as the faded star from which I was shaped. Perhaps some force pulled me to this place. Or perhaps my derelict course through the cosmos just happened to intersect. But given the stakes of the fight before us, I put my faith in the former. When I awoke here, I knew not where I was. My dreams spanned millennia, and my eyes opened into darkness. But somewhere on this world, an ageless beacon flared to life, its solar forge set alight by a wandering star, one much too young for me to know its name. And from this forge, I began to draw some echo of the children of light, whose very breaths formed the first essence of my life. In those quiet centuries, I dwelled upon my failures and lamented the loss of my gods. But I was not created to dwell in darkness, and the world around me could use my hammer still. So I have risen to join the world of the living. It does not matter if the children of light are mere memories. This world has need of that memory, and the light of the first stars, lost though they may be. In the ages following my creation, my nature was limited. I fought for the glory of the Golden Ones, naive to the lack of my own sense of self. But I learned much during eons of service to the children. By the time of my fateful mission, I think I should have known better. I can hope I know better now. The children of light were my everything. But I cannot tell you much of how they came to be. I know only that they were descendants of the Keeper's first son, one of the earliest and most powerful branches of that now vast lineage. They worked as one, but in the darkness, they shone as many.
So that's the lore and the backstory of Valora the Dawnbreaker. The part 2 of this video will cover the interactions and the Easter eggs related to Valora. So stay tuned for that. I was actually going to make a video on the Eldworms, but since you guys requested a video on Dawnbreaker, I postponed that Eldworm video for later. So yeah, if you guys have anything that you want me to make a video on, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try my best to make a video on that requested topic. And with that said, don't forget to like, share and subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos like this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.